A couple of things to consider when drilling gel coat. It is very fragile and does not like drill bits. If you drill in the forward position, it will chip away at your gel coat. You may end up with a crack that could run out from the screw hole off the side of the light and have a damaged boat. So there's a few tricks that you can do to avoid letting your gel coat crack. One is using some tape in the area that you're going to drill. We've put down some high temperature masking tape that we use for our powder coat process here. You can also use blue painter's tape or even just some basic masking tape. We're going to put the drill into the reverse drill position. So instead of drilling forward, we're going to drill backwards as we break through the outer color layer of the gel coat. By doing that, that will allow us to get through that outer color layer and avoid chipping. Once we're into the fiberglass, then we'll put the drill in forward and finish the hole. So you can see we're well into the gel coat, or into the fiberglass now. We're through the gel coat, so we can put the drill in forward and drill right through. Now we've got a nice pilot hole. We still want to avoid letting this other hole that's pre-existing let the drill bit wander. Normally we could move from here right up into the 3/8 size. We're going to step up a couple of drill sizes just so that we can keep the hole centered where we want it and make it all the way through. So as we step up in drill size, anytime we need to repeat the process, we're going to drill in reverse at first, and then we'll switch it to forward, avoiding any cracks in the gel coat. Now we're ready for our final drill size, the 3/8. We've got two nice holes. Obviously this hole's plenty big to handle whatever we need. The other wire should fit nicely here. We're going to test that now. Before we drill any of the screw holes, we want to feed the two wires into the boat, position the light, make sure everything looks good. We've got our first Mavericks light here. We've unbundled the wire. We're going to feed it into the boat. You can see with the position we've selected, we like how the light's positioned on the boat and where it's sitting. We're running into one problem. This surf exhaust is getting in the way of our drill, getting a nice clean 90-degree angle into the gel coat. So rather than trying to drill on an angle or cause a problem, we're going to run over to the hardware store and just snag a 90-degree angle drill head so that we can have the proper tools for this install that's a little bit unique. So we've got our 90-degree drill head that we went and snagged at the hardware store, and I'm using a friend here to help me position the light just the way we need it. He's got it visually lined up the way that it, gives us about the same clearance on one side as the other. We've put tape underneath this very first corner screw hole, and we're going to follow the same process as drilling the wire hole. We're going to put the drill bit in reverse. We're actually going to use the light housing as the drill template now because it will align the screw straight into the gel coat. We'll drill in reverse to start and then all the way through. Use one hand to give back resistance so as you break through that fiberglass, you don't run your drill into the light housing and put a scratch in your paint. This isn't our final mounting. We're just going to secure that first hole in position for drilling the other holes so that we can more easily secure the light. So we'll move it out of the way for just a second. We'll get this masking tape off. We don't need to go all the way in. We're just going to get it set far enough into the gel coat that it will secure the light for us to pivot and position the other holes. Gel coat and fiberglass are incredibly strong, and we drill that hole just slightly undersized so that you have good purchase into the material with these mounting screw holes. So be sure to maintain good back pressure on the drill as you're going in, otherwise you'll end up stripping the heads on your screws. We've got one screw started into the gel coat to help us with the pivot, and now again I'm going to start drilling in reverse and prep a hole for the second screw. Now I don't need a friend. I've got two screws set. I'm just gonna drill the last two holes. We'll set a couple of screws in them, make sure everything aligns, then we'll pull all four screws out, clean the housing, put our marine grade sealant on it, and then put it all back together. Housing's where we want it, everything's lined up nice. We're gonna pop the screws out, clean it up, put the sealant on it, and put it back together the final time.